Many of you might be thinking about planting a tree for Arbor Day coming up. I'm Luke with Haas Tree Care here today to show you guys how to properly get the tree in the ground and what to do after it's in the ground. The first step in planting a tree is to call Digger's Hotline. You want to make sure there's no underground utilities you're going to hit when you're digging, and that way you can ensure that your root system later is not going to interfere with lines or anything as well. Also, you want to make sure that the tree that you choose isn't going to outgrow its spot. So you don't want to be planting a maple tree like this too close to your house where in 15 years you're going to have to cut it down because you plan to do close. Also, if you have overhead utilities running through, you don't want a tree that's going to become 70 feet tall. And when the power company comes through and they cut back on your tree quite a ways. So make sure that the height that you're going for and the width is going to fit your spot. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you're planting the right tree in the right spot. So what's best to do is they have an online web soil survey is what it's called. You can actually map out your yard and find out what soils are in there. So just kind of know your area a little bit, whether it's clay or sand, and that'll help you choose the right tree. The first thing we want to do is dig the hole for the tree. So after we have Digger's Hotline come out and after we've picked the right tree for the right spot, we're going to grab our shovels and we're going to dig a hole about twice the width of the pot and about as deep as it is. Next, you want to take the tree out of the pot or whatever it may have come in. And sometimes it's best if you lay it on its side actually, and you can stomp on it to get the root system out of there. And before you put it in the hole, one of the big things you want to do is make sure there's no circling roots. So actually we really bend them roots out, cut some, just kind of poke away at them a little bit to kind of get them away from going around in the pot, because when they're growing in the pot, the roots are actually hitting the side of the pot and they're actually going around. So if you leave that go, it could suffer from girdling root issues in the future, which is going to lead to the decline and ultimately the death of your tree. We want to make sure we find the root flare of the tree. What you're going to see is about 3 or 4 probably main roots, because if we plant that tree too deep, the tree is actually going to try to shoot roots out of its stem, which it doesn't want to do, and eventually them are also going to girdle the stem of the tree then, since it's planted too deep. And if the roots are also too deep, say you have that really clay soil or it rains a lot, your roots are actually going to die off. They need oxygen to survive, and that's why sometimes in them really wet environments you're going to see them root systems actually on top of the ground. So ensuring the proper depth of the tree is crucial for the lifetime of the tree. So now we have the tree in the hole. Now we just backfill it in with the soil that we dug out, and then it's really best for the trees if you put mulch around it. This is going to add an organic layer. It's going to add some micro and macronutrients into your soil. It's going to help with water retention if you need it. The main thing is too is now when you're mowing your lawn or you're weed whacking around it, you're not hitting it with your mower or with your weed whacker, because there's a lot of damage also caused by that. You're actually going in under the bark here into the cambium layer, and you're going to cut off all that water and nutrients running up. So putting a thin layer of mulch around the tree is good, but one thing you want to be careful of is getting away from the mulch volcano is what we call it. So if you mound that mulch up around the tree, it's actually going to cause some decay to happen. Moisture is not going to leave there, and it's going to be a bad thing. So we kind of promote more of what I would call a mulch moat. You kind of have more of a place where it's not touching the trunk, and you can put your water in there, and that's ultimately best for the tree. You can also choose to stake your tree. In some situations, this actually promotes more root growth, because if you leave a tree just planted without any staking, it may topple over in a windstorm. But believe it or not, you actually want that tree to move a little bit in the wind, and that's actually going to promote more of that root growth. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope that you guys now have some insight into how to properly plant a tree so that you can prevent problems before they occur. This has been Luke with Haas Tree Care. Happy Arbor Day.